Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon as well to those who are celebrating the afternoons. I hope everything is well with you, and this day, May 19th, 2020, finds you well. Well, we're going to continue our theme for Kilo 2H, Kilo 2 Heroes, very special event station, thanking all those who are on the front lines fighting COVID 19. We're talking about the honoring the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare workers, the EMTs, the police, the firemen, the military who provide medical help, as well as the mortuary, hospital personnel, and food services personnel. In addition to that, and the list goes on, and unfortunately it does, the sanitation, the postal workers, the supermarket personnel as well, and the technicians working on the cars. Thank you very much. We do appreciate that. And we will continue with this event today. We're entering another phase of the COVID 19 pandemic. States are beginning phase one of opening businesses and parks with, of course, distancing still being observed. And that's wonderful news. However, the number of new infections continue to rise at a lower rate, of course, and deaths from the virus continue to occur. So the immediate frontline workers continue to be under tremendous stress. With those of us feeling somewhat better about the pandemic, there still remains those who have contact with us on a regular basis that have a large measure of anxiety because they're in touch with us hundreds of times a day. We do have access to these people. These people could be, again, the supermarket workers, the big box stores, the restaurants in the open states, and auto mechanics. And if by chance you may know a nurse, a doctor, an EMT, someone who is really in harm's way, anyone else that's in business that you reach, it's important for us to acknowledge that in some form or way that these are heroes and they may be suffering from some form of anxiety. What can we do? Well, we can't see their hurt, but we can try to be more thoughtful and sympathetic. We can smile with our eyes and just ask them, how are things going? If we sense a problem, if we're comfortable, we can give them our phone number. Just talking can be extremely, extremely beneficial. You don't need to have a degree in psychology to have an impact, so that's one of the action items of the day today, May 19th. We know that you acknowledge how much we appreciate the frontline workers, but let's consider going on to the next step. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. And let's see what we can find on the amateur bands. Let's go to our live stream. Hello there, everybody. Got a little more light on the subject. Hopefully, you're seeing that as well, and hopefully, I won't be wearing shades by the end of this session. Okay, so let's see what's happening. We know the bands are a little bit quiet today, but let's see what we can find. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Special event station Kilo 2 Heroes. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ all amateur radio operators. This is Kilo 2 Heroes, Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. QRZ, QRZ. This is K28, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. At the controls today is Peter, Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo. My home call is Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQ calling, C2, CQ calling, CQ. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot is listening. Roger, Kilo November 4, Charlie Yankee Kilo. Kilo November 4, Charlie Yankee Kilo. Welcome aboard. Please correct me if I don't have the call correctly in place. If it is, sir, I think it's Joshua from Brooksville, Florida. You correct me if I'm wrong. And any comments that you'd like to make on what we've been discussing for these last 18 days. Over to you, sir.
You got it just right. Well, they got me working from home because of the pandemic.
Roger, thanks, Joshua. I appreciate that. Any comments that you'd like to make, Joshua? Go ahead.
Not that I know of just yet. KN4CYK.
Joshua, thank you. Most importantly, you reached our station. You took the time and saying thank you to all the heroes out there on the front lines. Thanks so much, Joshua. 73s to you, sir. QRX, one moment. QRX. Okay, thanks a lot for that, for allowing me that interruption. QRZ, thank you. We had a little technical difficulty here, but now we're back on the air. Thanks so much. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Alpha 4, Uniform Charlie.
Roger, thank you very, very much. Alpha 4, Uniform Charlie. A very good afternoon to you. The name is Peter. Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo, located in Long Island, New York, about 45 miles from a very quiet, a very sedate New York City, but we're here nevertheless and trying to really spread the word and to spread the happiness to all those working on the front lines. We want to say a big thank you to them, and any comments you'd like to make, we'd appreciate that. I think your name is Glenn, and I think you're in Florida. Confirm all of that and any comments you'd like to make. Over to you, sir.
Absolutely, yes. You have the handle right. The name is Glenn, and concur with your sentiments 100%. Name here is Glenn again, and I'm about 40 miles north of Orlando here in Florida. Beautiful day down here, and totally concur back those heroes out there. So, is this a special event station? Over.
Roger, yes, Glenn, thank you. This is a special event station for the entire month of May. The call sign, of course, is K2H or Kilo 2 Heroes. And this is a special event station honoring all those heroes fighting COVID-19, all those on the front lines. And, of course, the list goes on and on as we speak here on my 19th day. As an example, Glenn, it's all the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare workers, the EMTs, the police, the firemen, the military who provide medical help, as well as the sanitation, the postal workers, the supermarket personnel, the technicians working on our cars. All those folks, basically, Glenn, are out there while we're sheltering in place, and we want to really send a big thank you from our hearts. And every time we make a contact with stations like yours, Glenn, where you take the time, we're sending a thank you out to them. Over to you, Glenn. Any more that you'd like to have? Go ahead. '73's Glenn. Thanks so much again for making contact with us. I appreciate that. This is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. We have viewers. I want to thank you viewers very, very much on my live stream through Twitch TV. I encourage you certainly to go on there. Any amateur operators that are working there, listening to us here on the radio, please go over there if you'd like and like to make any comments. If you're having difficulty reaching us, because certainly conditions are marginal this afternoon. So if you're having some difficulty, by all means, put a chat there on the Twitch stream. That would be my call, which is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. And certainly we really appreciate anyone and all that like to follow us. We really would look forward to that. That would help us a lot in defraying a lot of the costs that we're putting forward. So thanks so much for that. Doesn't cost you anything, but certainly it does make a difference for us. Alrighty, Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot, QRZ. CQ calling CQ calling CQ, all amateur radio stations for this special event. Kilo 2H, Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Sierra Uniform Foxtrot is Suffolk County, Long Island, New York, one of the 62 counties in New York State. We were thanking all the New York State primary workers for all their work during this COVID pandemic. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Whiskey 4, Tango Tango.
Roger, thank you very much. Nice signal. Kilo Whiskey 4 Tango Tango. Very good afternoon to you. I think your name is Carl, and I think you're in Florida. Confirm that for me, Carl, if that's not right, and also any comments you'd like to make on our special event. Over to you, sir.
So very good. I have my name. You're 59 plus in Holiday, Florida. Holiday, Florida. Not much on the bands. Anyway, I'm glad all those people are out there. I'm 94 years old. Over.
Wow, that is wonderful, Carl. I got to tell you, that's an honor for me to speak with someone of 94 years old. You sound really good, and you exemplify the wonderful spirit of amateur radio operators, taking the time to say, hey, you guys on the front lines, I hope you do well. Carl, that's just wonderful. How long, Carl, have you had your amateur radio license? Go ahead.
Well, they should be Michigan, but I've been here for 40 years. I just got my license when I came to Florida. Yeah, well, it's nice everybody's out there. I go back to World War II, over.
That is an honor. That really is, Carl. We rarely are able to have the honor. Thank you so much for your wonderful service. Very rarely. Unfortunately, more and more folks we're certainly losing that were in World War II. My call sign, my home call sign, Carl, is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. I am the third caretaker of the call, Carl. The call was first issued in 1929, and the last gentleman that had it was in the Air Corps in World War II, highly decorated, and I felt honored to take his call, Carl. So very, very congratulations to you, and thank you so much for your service in World War II. It is an honor to speak with you, and if you look on the stream, Twitch stream, I have the American flag behind me. Carl, thank you so much for making contact with us, and thank you for your glorified service in World War II. Back to you, Carl.
Okay, very good. Anyway, nice to meet you. Well, I still do all boat work. I watch my door a couple times a week. I've done it all my life, and I do everything. I live alone. I've been alone for 11 years, but still do all my antennas or whatnot. Anyway, what keeps you? KW14T, you take care.
7-3, Carl. Hey, did you hear that out there? He still works on his antennas from Holiday, Florida. That's fantastic, Carl. Well, we're going to put this as a special note in our law. Carl, 73's best of health to you, and if you'd like to contact us again, by all means, contact us as often as possible. 73's, Carl. Hey, that's neat. QRZ, Special Event Station, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ anyone, anywhere for the Special Event Station honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. This is Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, K28 Stroke SUF, QRZ. Roger, thank you. Thank you, Florida Mobile. Whiskey Papa 4, Papa Echo Papa. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Thank you so much for the call. I think your name is Irving, but please confirm that and confirm your call. Whiskey Papa 4, Papa Echo Papa, as I have it. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Yeah. Whiskey Papa 4, Papa Echo Papa, Irving. And I always want to tell you about my address from Puerto Rico, USL.
QSL, thank you for being in Puerto Rico. I appreciate that very, very much, Carl. Irving, I have your name as Irving. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Again, what is your first name? Go ahead. Roger, I do hear you, about a 5 and 5, but I hear you nevertheless, and that's considering conditions are very marginal today. 73s to you, Irving. Thank you so much. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Mike Sierra Charlie.
The station ending in Charlie first, please.
Yeah, it's Kilowatt 4, Mike Sierra Charlie.
Roger, thank you so much, sir. Kilowatt 4, Mike Sierra Charlie. Thank you very much. Have your name here on QRZ as Mitchell, located also in Florida. Correct me if I'm wrong, and let me know if you'd like to make any comments regarding what we're doing here in the Special Event Station, thanking the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, Roger. Name here is Mitch. I go by Mitch, Mike India Tango Charlie Hotel. And you're doing a fine job into Florida, 5-9 into Florida. I know conditions haven't been the best today, but whatever you're doing is working well down here. And, I just wanted to say thanks to all the people that are out there helping other people. This whole episode has been a real wake-up call. So, keep doing what you're doing. Sound great. Back to you. Over.
Well said, Chuck. Very well said. Mitch, rather. I'm sorry. Well said, Mitch. Thank you so very, very much. Yes, that's for sure. Helping others and a wake-up call. Good words. Very, very pathetic words, and I really do hope that we all come out of this different, better, kinder to one another, more helpful to one another. And certainly we're thanking those people on the front lines that are helping other people. And I think it's now time for us, beyond saying thank you, which is certainly important, and so far we have about 15,000 thank yous since we began this operation on May the 19th. And Mitch, now I think it's time for us to try to to say maybe thank you and maybe give a little help, because all of them have been under incredible stress. And even as states begin to open and businesses start to open and some of the restrictions are relaxed and we socialize more, we're going to feel better. But bear in mind, those people, Mitch, and everybody else listening, are on the front line, still suffering every day. There are still cases coming in and still debts going out. So if we have an opportunity to make contact with someone in the grocery store who's in the meat department or the fruit department, or someone that we make contact with in any way that we make contact with on a daily basis, if you can say thank you very much to them, we appreciate what you're doing, and how's it going? And if they want to talk some more, by all means, you can talk some more with them. But we want to see if we can do anything to maybe have a smile, even through our masks, with our eyes, and asking if we can help at all. That's kind of what my message would be today. Thanks so much, Mitch. We appreciate that. 73s. Over to you for your final, sir.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, just sad that, it's not over. This is going to go on for days, weeks, months, years. And so, yeah, I think a year from now, it's important to remember to keep that smile. So anyway, yeah, I'll say 73, and you're doing a good job. Kilo 4, Mike Sierra, Charlie. Bye-bye.
A pleasure. Thanks so much, Mitch. Thanks for making contact with us, and thank you so much for taking your time. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Whiskey Mike 6 Papa.
Whiskey Mike 6 Papa, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. It's Stephen, if I have that right, I believe, in Georgia. Just correct me and let me know if you have any comments on what we've been discussing today. Go ahead.
Well, thank you very much for the contact. Yeah, I think you've expressed it very, very well. I have nothing to add to that. I wanted to compliment the purity of your signal and the audio there. What rig are you running? Over.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so much for making that comment, because we all work hard at that. I'm using a Flex 6400M, the Maestro edition, and we all know that we have so many different controls and different ways to tailor our audio. There's no reason why we shouldn't have good audio. And I'm using an INRAD microphone, the INRAD DMS-1 desk mic, and we really work to getting our audio going. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, and so important to hear that, because we really want to make sure that we have a clear, undistorted signal. Thanks, Mike. Stephen, over to you.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at on the scope, and it's just perfect sidewalls on it. The upper limit, lower limit, just razor sharp. Well, the Flex, they make a superior product. I'm using Elecraft K3S, and hope I sound half as good. Very, very nice signal. Where are you located there, over?
My pleasure. Yeah, this is the first time that actually someone like yourself gave me a real technical review. Thank you on the sidewalls. We appreciate that very, very much. Yeah, I can see my signal here on my pan adapter, but it's certainly not what you're seeing, and you're seeing pure signal. Thanks, Stephen. Yes, I'm located in Long Island, New York, about 45 miles east of a very quiet, sedate New York City. The town that I'm in, Stephen, is Northport, and my home call is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Go ahead.
Oh, very good. Very good. I've been reading a number of books by Nicholas DeVille, and all of his books are in Long Island, so I've come to know at least parts of it. Thank you very much. I'll let you carry on, and the Flex really looks good, sounds good. You've got perfect distribution between the highs and the lows. It's great symmetry there. 7.3s, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm happy to see your special event station on the air and doing well. Over.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very, very much. And let me just comment on your audio, your signal. It's fine. You sound more than half as good. You sound really very solid audio, good modulation, and I appreciate that as well. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, Stephen. This event is touching a lot of people. Certainly, we as amateur radio operators in the amateur radio service, as defined by the FCC, are doing our service. But also, I'm getting, I was talking about an email that I received yesterday from a nurse who said a friend of mine asked me to stop into the broadcast, see what's going on. We're also streaming, Stephen, on Twitch TV with my home call. If you have an opportunity, by all means, I would encourage you to go over there. And if you'd like to subscribe, that would be neat too, because that helps us. But Twitch TV with my home call sign, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. And I usually show screenshots on there. I'm showing myself right now with my thank you sign. as I'm streaming myself here on my camera and my flag as well. But we're getting thank yous, and she stopped in to the stream, and she said, I really was I had a lot of anxiety, thought I was all alone, and it's great to hear all those people saying thank you. It's interesting that nurses, doctors, EMTs, so many of them are not conditioned for this wartime kind of activity, and they're accustomed to keeping everything to themselves. So when they hear us out here screaming our lungs out, saying thank you and making some positive comments, it really does resonate. Thank you, Stephen, very, very much. I really got my money's worth from our conversation with you. I'll send it to you for a final 73s. Thanks so much for your kind thoughts, Stephen. Over to you.
WM16, thank you. My wife and I have been most fortunate. We have a lovely home, and we can get out and walk around on the property. And so we have been one of the few that have really not suffered as much as some. We were tested and came up negative, which we anticipated, and I hope we can put all this behind us very soon. And 7-3s, thank you from WN16.
My pleasure, Stephen. Very glad. Yes, it's wonderful the situation you have there, and you're able to pretty well go about mostly your normal business. And yep, the good news yesterday was there is a pharmaceutical company that's in final trials of a vaccine. And there are 100 more companies also looking at different types of therapies and vaccines, and there are a total of about 8 now in some form of trial. So that's very positive news. We'll get through this. We really will. What concerns me more are the after effects. Every time you go through a war, you have those that have the anxiety of war, and we don't want to forget all those people that were on the direct front lines. And I'm speaking of the nurses, the doctors, the EMTs, the pharmacists who really might have lasting effects from this, because you just can't imagine them going through this day in and day out for 30, 60, 90 days, however long it takes. So we have to be very mindful of them and be very concerned about them, and make sure that if we ever have an opportunity to speak with any of them, pick up the phone and be kind to them, because they're really at risk. They are one of the unintended victims of this. Anyway, thanks so much. 73s to you, sir. More stations out there? I hope so. My name is Peter. Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. Thank you so much. QRZ. This is Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Roger, there's a Tango Zulu first. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. The name here is Wayne. Call sign Kilo 4 Tango Zulu Mobile, 8 miles north of Huntsville, Alabama. Over.
Roger, thank you so much. You're on the move. I believe we spoke. We spoke on the 17th. I really am very impressed with your license plate, CQDX, Sweet Home, Alabama. And Wayne, thank you so much. Any final comments you'd like to make on what we've been discussing? Go ahead.
No, but you're absolutely right about the frontline support for those health professionals that have been out there doing it 90 days straight. A lot of them without a day off. Thanks for doing it. K4TTZ Mobile.
Roger, safe mobiling, and you're absolutely right. We don't want to say they may be the forgotten ones, because clearly you're most concerned about the folks that are infected, those folks that are on respirators, those folks that are really having a difficult time. But clearly, as we wind this down, and we are winding it down, we cannot forget, and we have to really make sure that we reach out to these first-line people and do whatever we can. We're amateur radio communicators, so if we have an opportunity to communicate, by all means, let's do that. You don't have to have a degree in psychology. All you have to do is be a good listener. All you have to do is open up the conversation by saying someone, perhaps in the meat department, hey, how are things going? How are you feeling? And at that point, you'll see just exactly where you want to go from there. And if you're comfortable enough, you may even want to give that person a phone number just to let them talk, because talk is all that they need to do, and the more talk, the better the therapy will be in most cases. Thanks so much, Wayne. Safe mobiling for you for sure. This is Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Special event honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19, and specifically thanking all those frontline workers in New York State. QRZ. Roger, thank you so much, stations. Kilo Tango 4 Alpha Sierra. Very good afternoon to you. Paul, I recognize the picture on QRZ with that beautiful lab, I believe I'm looking at. You look very comfortable there with your best buddy. Thanks so very much. I think you're also in Tampa area. Any comments that you'd like to make on what we've been discussing about these folks on the front lines? Over to you, Paul.
instead of working. So we pick a restaurant and we buy some food once a week, and we've been very successful with this.
That's excellent. That really is a help. And bringing food, just showing care, really is another stress reducer. And that's certainly what we need to do. Anything you can think of out there to be creative. I know our car group has brought smoothies from one of our members who owns a smoothie store, and those smoothies are being brought regularly to the various hospitals in our local area, as well as sandwiches from another one of our members. So by all means, anything you can do to reach out and give them a little bit of love, we'll call it, will be well appreciated. Thank you, Paul. 73s to you, a little bit of QSB in and out on the signal, but we've got you in the log, and thanks a lot for your service and helping out those folks that are really fighting hard every day. Over to you for a final, Paul. This is Kilo 2 Hotel. Well, thank you so much. And, all we can do is just continue to pass the word. We're going to say thank you. But as I said, today my broadcast is dedicated to another level of thank you, and that's thank you with a little bit of help. By the way, we have someone on the chat line. Thank you very, very much. That's Jay Schiffer, 77. Very well said. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And I would like to implore all of you listening out there on the stream, please, by all means, post your messages. We'd like to read them. You know, I can't think of all the things that we need to have said to get out there and to communicate. So by all means, please help me out. Do whatever you can. And if there are stations there today, the conditions are very sketchy on 20 meters. So therefore, if they're sketchy most days, of course, but if anyone at all is having difficulty because they're a QRP station or a low power station with just a wire antenna, by all means, put your information on the chat line on Twitch TV, and I'd be more than happy to respond. Thanks a lot. Thank you again, Paul. Have a safe day, and thank you so much for your work bringing sandwiches to the frontline folks. That's wonderful. Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Peter, at your service, QRZ. Tough. CQ calling CQ calling CQ. This is special event station Kilo 2 Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling CQ, Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, listening.
Kilo X-ray 4, what does SUF mean?
Kilo X-ray 4, please.
Over. Roger. Kilo X-ray 4, Whiskey Golf. I'll talk to you periodically on the Hero Vet here. This is Ken, Mobile, Alabama. Just checking in. Keep the job up.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you so much. Checking in is wonderful. It really is. Make sure that I'm doing the job I'm supposed to be doing here. I'm having fun, and we're really passing the word. Ken, thanks a bunch. I appreciate the contact as often as you like, and thanks a lot for keeping us company. With conditions being this week, your station is really booming, so thank you so much. Yeah, I think I heard another station in there, QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Sir, what does the Sugar United Box mean?
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, my apologies for not describing that too often. We are we're using the New York CUSO County rules with counties. We're 62 counties in New York State. My county is Suffolk County, so the short version, the three-letter version for Suffolk is SUF as applied to the New York CUSO party, and that's Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. QRZ?
Yeah, thank you. N4 Golf Nancy Radio. Thanks.
Roger. N4 Golf Nancy Radio. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. This is Dan, I believe, in Georgia. Dan, would you like to say a quick hello to us? Go ahead.
Yep, good deal. You're doing a good job. Thank you. And that explained what I want to know. So good job.
Dan, thank you so very much. Thanks so much for letting me say it again so that we can make it clear, because obviously it's clear to me because we do the New York CUSO party, but it's a little bit unclear to others, and I understand. Thanks a lot, Dan. Good day, good health, and by the way, 20 over signal. Fantastic. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Roger. Papa Yankee 4 Japan Whiskey, I think. Papa Yankee 4 Japan Whiskey. I believe that's the call. If this is, I believe it's Heber, and I believe you're in Brazil. Correct me if I'm wrong. Papa Yankee 4 Juliet Whiskey, Kilo 2 Hotel, Stoke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Okay, my friend, it's okay, very, very good, my friend. Thank you for contact. Report signal is 5 by 6, 5 by 7, QSD propagation. Okay, thank you very much. Papa Yankee 4 Japan Whiskey, Kilo 2 Hotel, Sierra Uniform Foxtrot 73, good luck.
Well, hey, Barrett, thank you very, very much. That's fantastic this time of the day to reach you in Brazil, in Centro Brazil. And thank you much, hey, Barrett. Thank you for making contact with us. Thanks so much for saying thank you to those workers on the front lines. 73s to you. Good day, good health in the state of Brazil. QRZ in country as well. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, Suffolk County. Special event honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. QRZ.
Whiskey 5, Alpha Tango Kilo.
Wonderful signal. 20 over 9. Beautiful audio, sir. Hello, Art. Always good to talk with you. Good to see you're still smiling there on your QRZ page. Thanks so much for making contact with us from, I believe, the beautiful town of Enterprise in Alabama. Any comments you'd like to make, Art? It's all yours.
Okay, now just thank you for continuing to doing what you do. I really appreciate it, and my son appreciates it. He's in the medical field, so, and he's been working his tail off. But anyway, you guys keep up the good work, and I'm just going to be listening. I enjoy listening to the conversation. Back to you, my friend, W5ATK.
Well, thank you. And, of course, it's Arthur, who's in the medical field, and it's very heartwarming to know that our message is getting out, and those folks like your son in the medical field understands what we're doing and appreciates it and sees there as value. And that's something certainly that we're trying to do. Every day add some value to those folks out there that are in the war. And as I said today we're hoping to think everybody knows, I'm sure, a nurse, a doctor, an EMT. And certainly if you're one of those folks that know someone, please pick up the phone, give them a call, and ask them how you're doing. And if you can deliver some food to them, supplies to them, anything at all to make them know for sure physically that we're certainly thinking of them, that would be great. Thanks a lot, Art. Call as often as you can. You got a phenomenal signal. 73s to you, sir. Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ all stations. This is special event station K2H, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling, CQ, K2H, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Whiskey 4, Whiskey Alpha Lima.
Roger, thank you. Welcome aboard, sir. Thanks so much for keeping me company. Whiskey 4, Whiskey Alpha Lima. I have your name as William, but I bet you go by Bill. And you're going to fool me and you're going to say, no, I go by Buddy. But whatever it is, make sure I have it in the log. And I believe you're in Alabama. Very good afternoon, very good signal. And any comments you have on what we've been discussing. Over to you, sir.
Roger. You got a good signal over in Alabama. It's 5 over 9. And it's, everybody calls me Bill or Billy. I usually answer to whatever. But that's fine. You're doing a great job out there. I'm glad to hear you on the net. I just like to say, appreciate everybody that's out working hard during this time of crisis. And we keep everybody in our prayers. That's about all we have, W4WAM.
Well said, Billy. Well said. Thank you so much for sharing those thoughts with us. Thank you for your appreciation for those folks that are on the front lines. We think of them now all the time. Yes, as much as we think of the patients, as much as we think about those that are fighting real hard to get through this virus. And we are thinking of them every moment of the day, but we certainly want to put time aside for those folks as this thing starts to wind down, those folks that are on the front lines that are having perhaps some really mental anguish. And we want to do whatever we can to aid and abet them if we can. 73s, Billy. Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ. Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19, listening. QRZ, I think I heard a station in there. This is Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Roger, yeah, QSB on your signal. It started to copy, then I lost you. So far what I have is Whiskey Bravo 5. Go ahead.
Yeah, Whiskey Bravo 5, Oscar Sierra Delta.
Roger, that time it came up to about a 5 and 5. Thank you, sir. Whiskey Bravo 5, Oscar Sierra Delta. Thank you so very, very much. I believe it's Bobby, if I'm not mistaken, in Louisiana. Bobby, let me know if I've got that right. Any comments you'd like to make on the heroes fighting COVID-19? Over to you, sir.
Well, I appreciate every one of them. I sure do. Thank you for your fast.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you for the signal report. Right now, I have a picture, your QRZ page, looking at the picture you took of you being in a tandem parachute dive, as it's called, outrageous skydiver. I skydive because my mother told me not to. That's funny, Bobby. Hey, thanks a lot, Bobby. 73s, and thanks a lot for the very entertaining picture. Be well and be safe, Bobby. Thanks a lot. 73, sir.
Okay, thank you. What's your name?
Peter, it's Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo. QSL?
Peter, thanks. Appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate it too, 1,000%. Thanks, Bobby. QRZ. This is Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Golf Alpha.
Whiskey 8. I believe it's a Whiskey 8. Whiskey 8 Papa Golf. Go ahead, sir, again with your call.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Golf Alpha.
Roger, thank you. Whiskey 8, Charlie Golf Papa. Thank you so much. I have your name as Charles here on the QRZ page in Livonia, Michigan. Correct me if I'm wrong on some of that, and any comments you'd like to make. Over to you, sir.
Last letter is Alpha, America, Charlie Golf Alpha. Over.
Your first name again, go ahead.
Mike India Kilo Echo. It's Whiskey 8, Charlie Golf Alpha.
Oh, Whiskey 8, Charlie Golf Alpha. Whiskey 8, Charlie Alpha. No, I don't think that's right. I have Whiskey 8, Charlie Hotel Alpha. Give it to me one more time again, please.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Golf Alpha. Charlie, Germany, America. Over.
Oh, that time I got it, Mike. Yeah, QSB and also some atmospheric noise that's going on. So thanks so much for your patience. Yeah, now I've got your QRZ page with you're on a nice boat with you and looks like maybe your son and grandson. Looks fantastic, Mike. Thanks so much. Thanks for your patience. From I believe Key West. Let me know if I'm right on that. Key West, Florida. How are things going down there? And any comments you'd like to make on the virus? Over to you, sir. Well, 73s, Mike. Thank you so much for repeating your call. Thank you a million for that. I really appreciate that. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stoke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Excuse me. The station with Sierra, go ahead. Now, so far, all I can get is Sierra. Give me the entire call a couple of times. A lot of QSB. Go ahead. Roger, okay. Great. Papa Tango 9, Sierra. Papa Tango 9, Sierra. Believe another wonderful station in Brazil. Correct me if I'm right on that. And I believe your first name is Sandro. Let me know on that. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, sim, correto. Kia Alpha November Delta Romeo Oscar. Okay, my name is Sandro.
73, Sandro. Thanks so much for making contact with the special event station here in New York. You're a 5 and 5, Sandro. 5 and 5. Thanks so much. We appreciate that. 73s to you. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stoke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ. Anyone, anywhere. This is Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Kilowatt Delta 2 Delta India. I believe I heard it that way, but if not, please correct me. I think it was Kilowatt Delta 2 Delta India. Over to you, sir. Roger, thank you, Mark. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, the signals are kind of marginal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my beam a little bit to see if we can maybe help out and have a better signal going here, and we'll see about that. Just stand by. QRX, one moment. Roger, KD2DI. You may be losing me right now because the beam is heading around to the other direction, and right now it may get a little bit weak. So stand by, station, stand by. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ. The beam is now south. Let's see if we can do any better here. Otherwise, we'll move it a little further to the west. CQ calling, CQ. Special event station, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Kilo Oscar 4 Alpha Whiskey November.
Okay, November Papa 4 Germany Radio.
November Papa 4 Germany Radio. I heard the other signal in the other 4, but I didn't write it in. November Papa 4 Germany Radio. Big signal about 15 over 9. Thank you so much for calling us at the special event station. I believe it's Jorge, and I believe you're in Puerto Rico. Correct me if I'm wrong. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you got the right information over there. And I'm over here in the middle of the island, and the town is Utuado. I just want to say thank you for what you're doing too, you know. I always do the same thing around here, you know, say thank you to all those people who keep working for us and make us a little better our life when we need something. But anyway, I appreciate what you're doing, buddy.
Jorge, thank you. Boy, they're very, very good words when you said working for us. They're working for us. Oh, yeah, they are. They're no different than the warriors who fought in all our wars, who really fought for our country and to keep us safe and to keep our independence. And now they're doing that to keep us safe because they're certainly keeping the spread down. That's fine. And Jorge, thank you for all the work that you do in your country. Certainly your country is not unfamiliar with so many issues that have happened over the years. And we as amateur radio operators are so happy to help as much as we could during Hurricane Maria Thank you, Jorge. You got a nice signal from Utado. Thank you so much. 73's, good luck and be well, and thanks so much for making contact with us. Over to you for your final, Jorge.
Okay, buddy. Well, I'm sorry to interrupt the other guys. I didn't mean to step on anybody else, but, I just hit the full switch, and there we go. But anyway, your flag sounding pretty good over here, too, on Puerto Rico. Like I say, thank you, and sorry, to the other guys over there who maybe step on them. So anyway, this is November, Papa Ford, Germany Radio.
Jorge, my pleasure. It really is. Stations, I have to move up about a half a KC. There's a strong station in Europe right now on the air. Probably doesn't hear us. So I'm going to work up a half a KC and call CQ. QRX going up about a half to 1 KC. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ. Yeah, moving a lot today. Doing a lot of button turning and dialing. But that's amateur radio. Okay. Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, listening.
10-4 TXA.
Roger, thank you. N4 TXA. I heard a station in the Midwest, but we're really off that person right now. We're right now pointing due south. N4 TXA. Nice signal here into Long Island, New York. The name is Peter. Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo. Thank you so very much for making contact with us. Your name, your location, any comments you'd like to make on what we've been discussing today. Over to you, sir.
Roger, Peter. The name is Oren, Oscar Romeo Alpha November Oren, and we're located down in Venice, Florida. We have no traffic for you. Just want to, God bless you, man. Great job. I know you guys are doing great up there. Over.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Oren. Thank you so much in Venice, Florida. We appreciate that. Certainly, it certainly does us good when we hear from other amateur radio operators like yourself and commenting that really is being passed on to those heroes on the front lines. And all I can continue to say, Oren, is anything that we can do to make contact with anybody that we see on a daily basis is on the front lines. Take a moment. Give them a smile, and perhaps you can say anything that I can do, anything I can help you with. How you doing? That's about all we can do right now, for sure. 73's to you, sir. Have a good day. Be safe there. QRZ. This is Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, Suffolk County, Long Island, New York, and my name is Peter. Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. QRZ.
Kilo Oscar 4 Alpha Whiskey November.
Roger, Alpha Whiskey November. Big signal. Thank you so much. That's pretty interesting. Make sure I have the call right. Not sure because I'm not coming up on anything here. Is it Kilo Oscar 4 Alpha Whiskey November? Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Kilo Oscar 4 Alpha Whiskey November. That is correct. My name is Chris. Charlie Hotel Radio India Sierra. Over.
Chris, thank you very much. Glad I got that right. Somehow QRZ had a little stall. Didn't come up with anything there. Thanks so much, Chris. Kilo Oscar 4 Alpha Whiskey November. Appreciate it. Give me your location, any comments that you'd like to make on what we've been discussing. Over to you, sir.
Roger, Roger. I am in Lakeland, Florida. That's right in between Tampa and Orlando, right in central Florida. The only comment I have is to say thank you to all the first responders and medical personnel out there who are fighting our battles every day for us, going sleepless and not getting any rest. So it means a lot to all of us, and just thank you to all those workers. Over.
Well, thank you so much. We really do appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts, Chris. Thank you for spreading that out. You know, the words that we're saying here on amateur radio, they're being rebroadcast. I'm streaming this live through the benefit of Twitch TV, TWITCH TV. And it's also streaming on YouTube, my YouTube channel, as well as Facebook and Mixer. And we're packaging highlights every day, and we're making certain that first responders, anyone all on the front lines while we're here sheltering, is hearing some of the words. And believe me, we are making contact. We are making contact with them. It's just not just between us. Thanks so much, Chris. 73's to you, and have a good day. Be well, be safe. Thanks a lot for your time. Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, listening. November 8, yeah, a little weak, but I got you. November 8, Delta Echo. Thank you so very much. Good afternoon. I believe your name is Don, and I think you're in Michigan. Go ahead. Thank you, Don. Yep, I took it away from the Midwest for a little bit. We'll bring it back there. We weren't seeing much activity when we were west. Thanks a lot, Don. Thank you for making contact with us, and thank you so much for your kind comments. We appreciate that. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. KK4, come on back with the rest of your call. Go ahead. Roger, thank you very much for the repeat. KK4 Delta Lima Uniform. Very good afternoon to you. I believe your name is Ronnie, and I think you're in Tennessee. Correct me if I'm wrong. And any comments you'd like to make on what we're doing here on the COVID-19 crisis. Over to you, Ronnie. Ronnie, thanks a lot. Yeah, a lot of QSB on the signals here, so hopefully we'll be able to hold this a little bit longer. I'd like to give the viewers on Twitch TV a little more entertainment, but right now we have to depend on the propagation that we're getting right now. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. All right, I'm going to move now my beam. I'm going to move it a little bit to the Midwest. We're not hearing much from the South at all. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. Any station that would like to come in and say thank you to the heroes fighting COVID-19 and give your comments. This is Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling CQ. All stations anywhere, QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot listening. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. This is Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. Any stations, this is special event station K2H, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot, QRZ. Want to take a moment right now. I'm off the audio as we're getting our beam refixed. We're putting our beam now to the west to see if we can pick up any stations. Good afternoon, those folks that are on the stream. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Unfortunately, band conditions are not very, very good, but we'll persevere for a little bit. Anyone at all would like to say anything, please, by all means, come on in on the chat line, say something, anything at all that's related to this event, the heroes we're saluting fighting COVID-19. Anyone that you would like us to give a shout-out to, that's someone on the front lines, we'd be more than happy to pass that information along. And if a station is having difficulty reaching us, please, by all means, just let me know, and I'll make sure we make room to see if we can make contact with you. Thanks a lot. Okay, let's go back on audio, see what we could find. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. This is Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Whiskey 4, London, Norway, India.
Roger, thank you. Whiskey 4 station, just stand by 1 second here. The Whiskey 4 station, just stand by a moment. Oh, man. There we go. Okay, thanks a lot for your patience. Okay, the cursor was in the wrong spot. Whiskey 4 station, come on back with your call, please.
Whiskey 4, London, Norway, India, W4LNI.
Roger, thank you so much. Thanks for your patience. Whiskey 4, Lima, November, India. Thank you much. Good afternoon. Your name, your location, and any comments you'd like to make. Over to you, sir.
Roger, name is Jim, Julius, India, Mike. QTH is Tampa, Florida. Tampa, Florida. No comments, so back to you. K20UF, I think it was, W4LNI.
Roger, thank you, Jim. Appreciate that a lot. Our call is a Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. That's Kilo 2 Hotel Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Thanks a lot, 73s to you. Thanks so much for making contact with us and saying thank you to the workers working the front lines. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Roger, thank you. Good afternoon. November 4, Uniform Mexico. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name, location, any comments you'd like to make. Over to you, sir. Roger, thank you so very much. Thanks for that. And yes, thank you for mentioning your son here in Suffolk County. Just repeat his call for me one more time. Go ahead. Kilowatt 4 Romeo Uniform Mexico. A QSL on that? Roger, thank you very, very much, and thanks so much for supporting us here on our network. Thank you. Try 40. Yeah, there are a couple of other stations. There's one station I know of in Suffolk County right now working 40, so we'll leave that frequency to that person. But thanks a lot. Yeah, 40 would be a little bit better perhaps. But this is what I'm assigned to. We'll see what we can do. QRZ, any station, anywhere. I've got the beam 300 degrees. I might change that. We'll see where we have more of our calls. Kilo 2 Hotel Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening. Alpha Delta 5, Alpha Delta. Alpha Delta 5, Alpha Delta, Mobile. Thank you so much. Your name and your location. Go ahead. My pleasure, and certainly a shout-out to that doctor in the emergency room. He must be under a lot of pressure, and hopefully he's not doing too badly. 73's, Alan, thank you so much. I wish we had a stronger signal so we could keep it longer, but it's kind of weak. I'm trying to find the right sweet spot where most of the stations are. 73's to you, sir. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Roger, Kilo Yankee 4 Delta Delta. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, 259. So you're in Goshen, Kentucky, the way I look at it, I think. And I believe the name is David. I think it's David in Goshen. I'm not too far off you. Confirm that. Any comments you'd like to make, David, if that's your name. Go ahead.
No comments. Just heard the call there, and I was going to check in. You got the call and the name correct. Goshen, Kentucky, right on the banks of the Ohio River. Over.
Roger, Goshen, right on the banks of the river. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, David. Thank you. Thanks for making contact with us. And clearly, I'm now moving the beam a little more south, and we'll see if we can pick up more stations in the Great South. We're looking forward to that. So 73's to you. Good day, and so thank you for making contact with us. 73's.
73's, you take care.
We will do that. You do as well. QRZ, Special Event Station, Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilowatt Foxtrot 5, kilowatt.
Roger, Kilowatt Foxtrot 5, kilowatt. Thank you so much. Good afternoon to you. Let's see. You're in Mississippi, I think. Beam heading. Yeah, okay. I could see how tough conditions are. Yeah, my beam is very close to you. Anyway, good afternoon. I think your name is James or Jim, and I think you're in Boonville, Mississippi. Any comments you'd like to make, please share it with us. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Well, you seem to know the location well. 8,500 people here on a good day. This is cloudy day, so maybe that counts. Yeah, a good 5-9 signal coming into Mississippi. Name is James. You have that correct. Northeast Mississippi, about 25 miles from the Tennessee line.
James, thanks a lot, and appreciate you making contact with us as well. Really appreciate that. 73's to you, and have have a really good day. Thank you so much for taking the time to make contact with us at this special event station. Thank you so very much. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Roger, let's see. Kilo Bravo 7, Bravo Romeo Whiskey. Kilo Bravo 7, Bravo Romeo Whiskey. Thank you so much. Please correct me if I'm not right on the call. Give me, if you wouldn't mind, your name and your location. Go ahead.
We're up here near Seattle, Washington.
Roger, Alan. Yeah, I'm bringing the beam a little bit closer to you. Yeah, I think I know where you are in Snohomish. I see a lot of highway cams of your area. I have a sister-in-law, Alan, who lives in Easton, Washington. So I don't think that's too far from you. Go ahead.
Yeah, copy that. No, Easton's just a little southeast of me. Just kind of out in the country here. A couple acres, about 450 feet above sea level. And a nice, cloudy, cool 61 degrees here. Go ahead.
Oh, that's good. You deserve it because I know my sister-in-law, as you know, she's in the Cascade Mountain Range. She had a lot of snow. They had a lot of snow this year, so it was tough going with all the animals that they have. Alan, any comments that you'd like to make at all on anyone that we've been speaking of, the workers fighting COVID-19? Anything you'd like to say? Over to you, sir.
Well, no, I just didn't know what your special event was about, but I do want to certainly reach out to all the healthcare workers in the front line services. Man, it's amazing. They step into the line of battle every day, and here's one unknown, unseen. So, yeah, I work at the University of Washington Medical Center support for those that save the world. So, yeah, we appreciate you and everybody else that's helping fight this pandemic, and, we'll get through it. So, yeah, thanks for reaching out here. 5 and 7, 5 and 8 here near Seattle.
My pleasure, Alan. My indeed pleasure. Thank you so very, very much for making contact with us. You've got really a very, very nice signal today, and I thank you very much for spending the time with us. Thank you so much. Right now, I'm attempting to put on screen, let's say, we're seeing a picture or two, but we'll wait for a moment. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
WA2 Echo Lima Whiskey.
Stand by 1 moment, please. WA2 Echo Lima Whiskey. Big signal. Thank you so much. It really helps my ears out. I think you're in Missouri, and I think you may be Richard or Dick or something else, but let me know, sir. Over to you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the comeback. The name is Rich. You're correct. And we are west of St. Louis, about 25 miles in Missouri. You have a booming signal as well. Very nice signal, and appreciate all that you are doing to support our healthcare workers and first responders. Over.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate those comments. They're really heartfelt, Richard. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been speaking with a gentleman, George. George, his call is November 9, Victor Tango Bravo, N9 VTB. Right now, for people that are watching the stream, and thank you so very, very much, I have a picture of his wife up on the screen. She is a doctor. Her name is Teresa. Her call is Kilo Charlie 9, Fox Mike Delta. Fox Mike Delta, family medical doctor, and she's right in the front lines fighting COVID-19. I have a few pictures of Teresa. We can't thank her enough, and our heart goes out to her for what she's going through every day. You can almost look at her eyes. Those folks on the stream, you can look at that picture that's right now on my page, and you can see there's anxiety in the eyes. And what he said to me, he said, "Good morning." He said, "Welcome, and you're more than happy to. We're more than happy to have you use them." I'm very proud of her. We all are. She has her up and downs, and all of us do, but certainly on the front lines more so than ever. Medical people are overwhelmed these days, and it's impossible for them not to stress out. It's impossible for them not to stress out. So as I said earlier, today's broadcast is dedicated to anyone at all out there that we can speak with, that we can make first direct contact with. It could be anyone at all that you can think of that you meet that's on the front lines. It could be someone that's just serving you sandwiches at the local restaurant. say, hey, how you doing? And that's what we're trying to do today. Teresa, thank you very much for all your efforts. We really appreciate that. Thanks, George, for posting the picture. Richard, 73s, excuse me, and enjoy the day. Be good.
QSL, thank you very much again. Appreciate it. Teresa, shout out to you as well. 73, and thank you again, WA2ELW Clear.
That's wonderful, Richard. Thank you so much for giving a shout out to Teresa. We appreciate that. Anyone at all, any of the viewers out there, if you'd like to make a comment about Teresa, just also give out a shout, a thank you. We'd love that because we'll save those messages and pass them on to her. 73s to you, sir. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. I think you know what we're doing. We're saluting everyone out there that's fighting the front lines, and we're also trying to reach out to them as much as we can beyond our thank yous. My name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo, QRZ. Roger, the audio is a little bit muffled, but I think I got Whiskey Delta Mike. Please give me the prefix. Go ahead. My apologies, sir. No, I can't pull you out between the audio that's a bit distorted and a weak signal. Can't do it right now. Maybe we can work on that a little bit later. I'd really look forward to it. And maybe you could go on the Twitch TV line and let me know what your call is. Thanks so much. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
November Kilo Charlie 9 Victor India X-ray.
Wow, it's just like fishing. Sometimes you wait and you get no fish, and sometimes you get a doubleheader. So I have two there, but how about the Victor India X-ray first?
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor India X-ray. Name is Michael, located Westmont, Illinois, 25 miles west of Chicago. Appreciate all you're doing out there.
Michael, thanks so much for saying that. We certainly do thank you for that. We also thank the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club for giving us this opportunity, really, to use the special event station until the end of May. And there are many stations on the air throughout all the frequencies and all the modes. We've got about 45 stations at last count, part of New York State counties, so hopefully you can work many of them. Thanks so much, Michael. 73 is good signal from Illinois. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
November 9er Papa Alpha.
Roger. Victor Charlie, just stand by. How about the November 9 Papa Alpha? Go ahead.
Roger. November 9er Papa Alpha. First name Papa Hotel Indigo Lima. CTH is Chicago, Illinois. You are 5 and 9. Over.
Roger, thank you so very much. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. We want to make sure. I want to make sure that I have your name here in correct order. Give me your name again, please. Go ahead.
Roger. The first name is Phil, Papa Hotel Indigo Lima. And my son is a first responder for the Chicago Police Department.
Well, that's fantastic, Phil. Would you give me his first name, please? Go ahead.
The first name is Phil, Papa Hotel Indigo Lima.
Is that his first name as well, your son, who's a first responder in the fire department? Go ahead.
No, negative. His name is Michael, Michael.
Thank you, Phil, so much. Michael, shout out to you from all of us that are here on the front lines of the radio spectrum, saying thank you to all those workers. Thank you very much, Phil. 73s. Anything else you'd like to make as a final comment? Go ahead.
No, thanks for the comment at 73 N9PA.
My pleasure. Anytime. Thank you, Phil, for the time. QRZ. Roger, thank you. November 4, Uniform Victor Charlie. Good afternoon to you. I know your name is Bob because that's what your QRZ page says, and I think you're in Palm Bay. Any comments you'd like to make, Bob? Go ahead. Bob, this is the special event station in Suffolk County, so it's Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, representing Suffolk County, Long Island, New York. QSL? Say that again, Bob. Go ahead. Roger, yeah, a lot of QSB on the signal, Bob. My intent is not by you, but I think you mentioned something about COVID-19, and say that again so I can respond to it, Bob. Go ahead.
Yeah, this for COVID-19 that you're doing this
Oh, thank you, Bob. Yes, let me get that for you here. Thank you very much. Yes, it is. This special event station, Kilo 2 Heroes, we're honoring the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare workers, the EMTs, the police, the fire, the military, all of those and more that are on the front lines. Excuse me. That are on the front lines of COVID-19. Thanks a lot, Bob. Hopefully that answers your question. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, 7-3s and good luck in for UVC. Later.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much for your inquiry. Really appreciate that. Thanks so much for your time. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Whiskey 5 station, go ahead.
Roger, the call Whiskey 5 Yankee Bravo. You're about a 5-8 into Abiquiu, New Mexico, northern New Mexico. Nice signal. You've been such a pro over the last week. I've been listening to you. You're a very, very good special event operator. Over.
Well, thank you so much, Alex. It's Alexander, Alex, I think. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. From New Mexico, that's pretty neat because our beam is not really that close to you. But thanks so much for your kind comments. We really do sincerely appreciate that. And anything else you'd like to add? And make sure I got your name right. Is it Alexander or Alex? Go ahead.
Alexander formerly, but everybody calls me Alex, so that's fine. Yeah, I got COVID-19 in March 3rd of this year. I had about a 3-week really bout with it. But
Yeah, Alex, unfortunately, I lost you in the fog there. A lot of QSB on the signal, but I think what I did hear is, and I want to mention this to all our listeners and other folks that could hear me. Alex said he had COVID-19, had a tough 3 weeks. And, yeah, my sister also had it. Glad you're better. Now you've got some probably rich antibodies that we can harvest and then pass it on to others that really need it. So you can check with your doctor, and maybe you could donate some of those very rich antibodies from having COVID-19. Most of the people that get through it okay, and that's the good news. There are some, though, that have pre-existing conditions or are seriously overweight or have diabetes that have a tough time. So that's why, even though states are starting to open, I beg you, all of you who may not be in good physical condition or may have one of those things I discussed, to stay back, really, until we get some clearer ideas and more testing. 73s to you, Alex. Thanks a lot. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Roger, there's a portable 9 station first. Your call again. Go ahead.
Kilo Bravo 9er, Foxtrot Mike Victor.
Okay, now, yeah, I had another station that came in, a good station, but wait. Kilo Hotel, portable 9. Come back with your call again, please. Right. Yeah. There's another 9 station that I copy. You stand by 1 second. Right now, the station I'm talking with, and thanks for your patience, is Kilo Hotel 6 Uniform X-Ray Portable 9. Hopefully I have that right. Give me your name and your location and any comments you'd like to make. Go ahead. Van, thank you so much. Thanks again for your patience, and we do really thank you for appreciating what we're doing, trying to get the message out of thanks and help to those on the COVID-19. Thanks a lot, 73s, and enjoy the time out there. Be well. Aloha. 73s, QRZ is another 9 station there. Go ahead.
Kilo Bravo 9er, Foxtrot Mike Victor.
Roger, thank you so much. Sorry for the confusion. That's unusual, I think, that there's 2 9s at once. Thank you, Paul. Kilo Bravo 9, Foxtrot Mike Victor. Name here is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. Give me, I think you're in Joliet, Illinois. If I have all that right, all that's left to you to do is any comments you'd like to make on what we've been discussing. Back to you, sir.
No comments. I just want to thank you for having such a great, I guess you call it a net out here. And thank you very much. We do have our share of problems with this COVID-19, but I want to thank you very, very much. It's very informative and very good.
Thank you, Paul, very much. That's what we try to do. We're going a little bit beyond perhaps what we originally thought we do. Every operator has their own choice of what to do. I wanted to turn this, Paul, into more of a QSO informational style event, and most of us are aware of what we should do, the right things we should do, like speaking to some of these folks on the front lines, giving them a little bit of time, giving them a smile, and being a little bit more perhaps courteous and sympathetic to what they're doing. And so thank you so much for acknowledging that. We're trying our best for sure. We're getting more good news every single day, and that's what I want to tell everybody. Have a good attitude about this. We're coming out of this. There is good news, and the good news is a vaccine is getting closer and closer to a vaccine that will, in fact, pass the FDA trials. So far, the testing on this one vaccine from this one drug company is very positive, and hopefully sooner than later we'll have that remedy in place, and we really pray that happens soon. Paul, thank you so much. Best of 73s to you. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Whiskey Yankee 2 United.
Whiskey Yankee 2 United. Oh, we're getting some better signals now. Thank you so much. I believe your name is Michael or Mike. I think you're local. I think you're right in Rockville Center where my niece lives. Let me know about that, Mike. And you do look familiar in terms of your name, so help me out with that. Whiskey Yankee, if I have that right, Whiskey Yankee 2 Uniform. This is Kilo 2 Hotel.
Okay there, Peter. Yes, you have it correct. The name is Mike, and I am in Rockville Center. I was tuning around. I was down in the CW portion of the band a while ago, and I saw you spotted. I said, well, let me come on up here and see if I can hear you, first of all, and say hello. Certainly am delighted that you folks are doing what you're doing, and I just wanted to stop by and say hello. Where does your niece live, and do I know you? I'm trying to figure that out. So back to you, Peter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Actually, she lives. It's less of Rockville Center, and she's more in Well, I'm going to say Franklin Square, but probably I would probably be incorrect with that. No, I think that it is, and I believe it's the street area. I'm a little bit unclear about that right now, Michael. I'm not 100% sure, but certainly I love the area. It really is a beautiful spot there. Not far, I guess, from the church is probably the best I could do, and I think that is St. Anthony's, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, I don't know if we met at Ham Radio University. I'm almost thinking we did. Is that possible that we met at HRU, Mike? Go ahead.
Certainly very possible there, Peter. I was one of the presenters last time. I gave the talk on VSWR, power flow, and that topic. So I don't know if you were in that forum, but yes, I was one of the speakers. And I'm about a mile from the church myself. I'm closer to Sunrise Highway. If you know where the recreation center is on Long Beach Road, I'm a few blocks from there. And what else did I want to say? And yeah, again, I was a presenter, so maybe we met there. Go ahead.
Yes, in fact, I used to give a speech. My forum was on the satellite operating, and now I've moved over to how to set up a ham radio station. I was working, may he rest in peace, with Phil N2MUN. We were doing the forum together. So sad of his passing. But yeah, I've been doing HRU for many, many years, and I know for sure, Mike, your forum was very well attended and very well thought of. Mike, go ahead.
Okay, Peter. Well, thank you very much for the kind words. Do appreciate it. Yeah, I've been doing it for years, too, with a little bit of a couple of years lapses. But, yeah, I enjoy it myself. I don't know what the heck we're going to be doing this year. Hopefully this situation will be rectified well before that. I'm certainly hopeful for that anyway. Peter, I'm not going to hold you. I know what you're doing is worthwhile. You want to make contacts and get the word out as much as you can, so I won't keep you. It was good to talk to you on the air. Thanks for being there, you and all the folks with the K2H calls. And believe me, it's well noticed and well appreciated. So stay safe, sir, and we'll look for you again. By the way, what's your home call? Before I go ahead.
Roger, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your kind words. The home call is Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. Yeah, I know where you're located. My niece is closer. There's a canal at the end of her block, and that's about right now the closest that I can put it, other than being just a couple of miles from the school. So yeah, just a gorgeous area, very, very convenient area. Thank you, Mike, very much for your help. Thanks for making contact with us. And yeah, as far as HRU is concerned, let's be confident that we will have another HRU because it is such a wonderful event. And again, thank you for your contributions to the event. Really appreciate that. 73's Mike, QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Alpha Bravo 9 Quebec uniform.
Roger, the Quebec uniform station again?
Alpha Bravo 9 Quebec uniform. Bill in Michigan City, Indiana. You're 5'9" here. Really good signal coming this way.
Wow, Bill, you're about 15 over 9, Bill. Honestly, you've got a bodacious signal, as one of my favorite broadcasters used to say. I have you as Trail Creek, Indiana. Let me know if that's right or wrong, Bill. Big signal. Thanks a lot. Wonderful QSL card on the lake. It looks fantastic. Very well done. Really enjoyed a lot with the lighthouse there. Bill, any comments you'd like to make at all on what we're doing here, saluting those workers fighting COVID-19? Over to you, sir.
Well, thanks for what you're doing. My wife is a retired nurse, and I know they work their hind ends off. I know that, and I know things are pretty tough for them right now. So thanks for what you're doing, and I don't want to tie it up. Let somebody else get in there. Thank you, and 7-3, AB9QU.
No, you're not tying it up at all, Bill, AB9QU. Salute, thank you to your wife who's a retired nurse. I'm speaking with a lot of nurses who are saying, it's a young person's game, and a lot of them are really just worn out by 50 years old and want to move on. And if they do, that's just fine. They put in many, many years of service. This, though, Bill, as we all know and as your wife can attest to, is above and beyond the call of duty. It really is. And it's just incredible what they're doing. And we're just doing a simple thank you to them to probably hopefully put a smile on their face that we're thinking of them while we're here sheltering in place and they're fighting the germ bullets on the front lines. Thanks, Bill. 73 is terrific signal. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Delta 9 or
Kilo Delta 4, Mike Delta Oscar.
Stand by, the Mike Delta Oscar. Thank you. The Kilo Delta 9, come on in, please.
This is Kilo Delta 9 or Kilo Zulu Sierra, over.
Roger, thank you. Kilo Delta 9, Kilo Zulu Sierra. Thank you so much. Have your name as Dave in Indiana. Let me know if that's not right. And any comments you'd like to make on what we've been discussing. Over to you, sir.
QSL, you got the correct name. Bloomington, Indiana. Dave, Delta Alpha Victor Echo. Listening to you, and very inspirational and very, very well put together, guys. I appreciate everything you're doing. And, yes, we're going to get through it. Back to you from KD9KZS.
Roger, thank you so very much. We will get through it, and thank you very much for acknowledging the word on inspirational. Clearly, that's our intent also is to be very aware of each other. All of us, even though we have this wonderful outlet called amateur radio, and hopefully we get on it every day and make contacts, make new friends, make old friends, and just chit-chat, do contests, whatever. We are still, this is bigger than anything that we've ever seen, and all of us are carrying some form of anxiety. Just monitor that, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, seek help. And if, in fact, you want to keep it to yourself, great, but read some good books. The Bible is one good book, or The Power of Positive Thinking could be another book written by Norman Vincent Peale. I'm not making any money on this stuff, but more importantly, I know that it's helped me and a lot of folks that I've spoken with, and let's keep in mind that as well. But everybody sounds in good cheer, and I'm glad, and we're able to be healthy enough. We're grateful to say thank you to all those on the front lines. Dave, thanks so much. Over to you for your final 73s. Thank you so much for your lovely comments. Over to you, sir, for a final.
Thank you again. Yeah, very inspirational. Yes, I have that book, The Power of Positive Thinking, and also remember, I think too, just maybe pause for the day and be grateful for what God has given us. Thank you for all you do. This is KD9KZS. Back to net. Over.
Be grateful for what God has given us. Yeah, we're not turning this into a religious network, but I can tell you one thing that we have to be very aware of. Let's be thankful for what we have, not for what we don't have. And especially during these times, my goodness, if we have any semblance of any mental acuity, let's think how nice it is to have a good mind and to have a good body while others are suffering. I have a picture now up online for those viewing the stream, a picture of a nurse on the right, and a picture of a nurse therapist on the left. They're just commiserating with each other, and it's very healthy what they're doing. All I can say for those that are not watching the stream, and why aren't you watching the stream? Come on over. Keep me company. All you amateur radio operators, nothing wrong with going out there and looking at the stream on Twitch TV with my call sign. We'll be up there with all the people that are doing streaming, whether it's iRacing, Assetto Corsa, any kind of a simulation. We're doing something, but guess what, folks? This is not simulation. This is reality amateur radio. So go ahead, join us. And anyone that would like to follow me, I'd appreciate that. I have no follows today, so I need a few more to get to another level. Really would appreciate your support and help. So love to see that and appreciate that a lot. 73s to you, sir, and QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. What are we doing? Well, we're a special event station. We're honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19, and there's so many levels of them. My name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo, QRZ. There's a WA4 station. Go ahead.
WA4 Queen Baker Echo.
Roger, thank you so much. Whiskey Alpha 4 Quebec Bravo Echo. Thanks a lot. Thanks for repeating on the call. I think your name is Ken. I think you're in Alabama. Correct me if I'm wrong. And any comments you'd like to make, sir, go ahead.
That's a Roger. Yeah, the name is Ken in Anniston, Alabama, and you are 10 over. Great signal down south here. Go ahead.
Roger, Ken. Thanks so much for your comments. I appreciate that. I want to say something just in general, and I'm not directing this to you, Ken, at all. There's no need for a signal report at all for me. I know my signal is good, and that's not saying that egotistically. It's just a good signal, period. Good location to have more than anything. But more importantly, I really want to spend any of our time here for the main purpose, and that is to direct it towards the people that are on the front line. So if you can say thank you, just a thank you to those on the front lines, or I know so-and-so who's a firefighter, or I know so-and-so who's a butcher in a supermarket, I'd like to salute them and say thank you. That's what this is about. Now, of course, if you want to hear a signal report from me to you, my pleasure, but no need for me to have any reports. Thanks a lot, Ken. 73s. Any final comments? Go ahead. Roger that. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Charlie 0, Echo, Bravo, Echo.
Roger, thank you so much. Kilo Charlie 0, Echo Bravo. Echo Bravo Echo. Is that right? Kilo Charlie 0, Echo Bravo Echo. Go ahead.
QSL, the name here is Tim Tango India Mike, hailing from Minneapolis, over.
Roger, Tim. Thank you so much. Hailing from Minneapolis, a beautiful, beautiful state and city. Thanks so much. We like Amy very, very much. Lovely lady, and hope she goes further. Also, I'd like to ask you, Tim, if you have any comments on anything we've been talking about regarding COVID-19. Go ahead.
QSL, we have a friend who's a young nurse working in the ER here at the local hospital. She's a wonderful gal. She's got 2 small children that she can't be with right now for the sake of all the rest of us. That's my comment, over.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you, Tim. That's what we really like to give a shout out to her. Could you please pass her first name on to us? Go ahead.
Her first name is Estelle, and she works at Abbott Northwestern Hospital, over.
Roger. Estelle, a salute to you at Abbott Northwestern Hospital. And Estelle, I really hope that you're getting through this and coping with it. And certainly, I know, Tim, if in fact you detect any kind of anxiety, that you'll do your best to try to quelch that. Over to you, Tim.
QSL, Peter, thank you so much for what you're doing today. We are staying afloat very well, and ham radio really helps.
Roger, it does. It really, really does. At times like this, I know any kind of hobby. I mean, I know the gamers will say when we get on our games, but of course, a lot of those gamers are young folks, and there's nothing much that bothers them one way or the other. Although I've got to admit, this has affected them as well. So thanks a lot. Thanks for mentioning Estelle. We really appreciate that. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy, and we wish you the best of health. 73s to you for sure. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, QRZ. The Gulf Mike Quebec, come on in again, please. Negative copy on that. Try one more time again. You kind of distorted out on me. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel. Yeah, we lost that. Yep, correct. Jeffrey 77 N3 PKJ is here. Definitely not terrible. Thank you so much for that comment. I do appreciate that. Stand by one moment. QRX Kilo 2 Hotel. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ. This is a special event station honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Delta 4, Mike Delta Oscar.
Okay, stand by, Kilo Delta 4. Kilo Delta 4, I'm moving the beam a little bit south. Kilo Delta 4, come back again, please.
Kilo Delta 4, Mike Delta Oscar.
Roger, Kilo Delta 4, Mike Delta Oscar. Good afternoon to you. I think your name is John in Kentucky. Thanks, John. Over to you. My pleasure. Thank you so much for saying thank you to that. I appreciate that. 73's too, and thanks so very, very much for making contact with us. I really am grateful. We are grateful as a special event station. QRZ. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ. Anyone, anywhere. Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ. Special event station, Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Hotel Papa 9 Sierra, Alpha, Mexico.
There you go. Just stand by one moment. Hotel. Okay, let's see. Hotel Papa 9. Come back with your call again.
Hotel Papa, the number 9, and then my initials, Sierra, Alpha, Mexico. My initials, not my name. Go ahead.
Roger, thank you very much. Hotel Papa 9, Sierra Alpha, Mexico. Yeah, nice signal from Panama today, about a 5 and 7. I think your name is Stephen, and I think you're in province of Los Santos. Correct me if I'm wrong. Go ahead.
No, you got it. You got it, guys. You got it. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. Any comments that you'd like to make regarding what we're doing here as a special event station? Go ahead. Thank you, Stephen. Stephen, we are basically here as a special event station with the call sign of K2H, meaning K2 Heroes as we're using it. We have 62 counties that we've asked to participate. I represent Suffolk County, Stephen, Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot, Long Island, New York, about 45 miles from New York City. And this special event is honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. All the frontline workers out there, we're saying thank you to them. Over to you, Stephen.
Roger that. I agree with you 100%. I'm starting Sunday was my 12th week of lockdown here in Panama. I'm allowed out 3 days a week for 2 hours at a time. So I just got back from shopping. Go ahead.
Roger, yes. I was wondering how things were going on in Panama, but just tell me, because I'm not aware of how things in Panama. How are the infections and the death rate? Are they starting to flatten out, Stephen? Go ahead.
In my Providence down here, they just discharged the day before yesterday the last COVID-19 patient in the hospital in my Providence. And we've had no deaths in my Providence at all. But we've had almost 300 deaths throughout the country and about 6,000 confirmed cases. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, it sounds to me like there's been certainly respect for social distancing and gatherings, and that's very encouraging. And I'm glad the numbers are not really that bad. And certainly we're getting now closer to opening more and more things up. Stephen, thanks so much for taking the time, tuning across a very quiet band on 20 meters, but we really appreciate your comments and thank yous to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Thanks so much, Stephen. Over to you for a final.
Roger that. Kilo 2 Hotel Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. This is Hotel Papa 9
Sierra Alpha Mexico for pre-Panama. 73 is my friend.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time. Thanks for keeping us company. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, special event honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. QRZ. Well, this is Kilo 2 Hotel Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Home call is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Conditions seem to be really very, very marginal today, so we are going to go QRT after trying one more time. This is Kilo 2 Hero Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. QRZ.
Kilo Oscar 4, Alpha Juliet Echo.
Roger. Okay, you're keeping us around. Kilowatt 4. Thank you. Good afternoon. Alpha Juliet Echo. The name here is Peter, Pop Echo, Tango Echo Romeo. I have your name as Alvers in Florida. Let me know if I'm right or wrong on that, and any comments you'd like to make on what we've been discussing. Over to you.
Yeah, the call sign is Kilo Oscar 4, Alpha Juliet Echo, QSL.
Roger, QSL, Kilo Oscar 4, Alpha Juliet Echo. And that would put your name probably to me as John in Vero Beach. QRZ, QSL?
Roger. Yeah, this is John in Vero Beach, Florida. You're coming in here 5'9" there. You're bouncing in and out a little bit with the band, but that's okay. We got overcast skies down here today. In there on the frequency, and thought I'd reach out and see if I could contact you there, Roger.
Roger, John. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate the contact. Thank you so much for stopping by, saying hello, and saying a thank you to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Would you have any comments at all on what we've been discussing regarding heroes on COVID-19? Any comments you'd like to make? Go ahead.
You want to talk about that? Okay. No, I don't have any comments on that, actually. Yeah, I just think we've been duped. That's my opinion. I know there's other people who are running scared right now, but I just feel like we've been duped on the whole thing. But that's just me. Anyway, can I get your call sign for my logbook there? Go ahead.
Roger, my pleasure. It's Kilo 2 Hotel Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Hotel Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. QSL?
Yeah, Roger. I got you in the logbook there. Anyway, yeah, so all I can say really, to everybody is be safe, be careful, stay away from people, and if you have special conditions, safeguard yourself like always with any disease or flu or whatever it might be. So anyway, just keep clean, and I think we'll be all okay there. Anyway, 73 to you. Thanks for coming back to me. I appreciate it. KO4AJE. I'll be clear on your final.
Thank you, John. Very good words. I couldn't have said it better. And that is exactly what will keep this virus mitigated, where we will get out of it and people can go back to their normal lives and we can really get the economy going again. So please listen to what John had to say regarding how to really be safe and be careful. Thanks so much, John. 73s. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hotel Stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Roger, thank you so very much. Kilo Mike 4, Sierra Mike Oscar. Thank you much. I think your name is Scott in South Carolina. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, that's correct. Kilo November 4, Sierra Mike Oscar. I appreciate what you're doing there. I'm trying to get all, 62 counties? How long are you going to be doing this for? All month, isn't that right?
Roger, Scott. Yes, we'll be doing this through the 31st of May, and we probably have around 45 counties right now represented. I think a lot of folks are doing this, these volunteers on digital and also CW. As we know, the bands have been really crummy, so we haven't had too much luck throughout the bands. Although my good friend said to me that 10 meters has been doing pretty well for the last few days, so that might be a spot to pick up some more special event call signs. Over to you, Scott.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate you bringing attention to COVID-19 and what we can do to mitigate the issue and make lives better for everybody sooner than later. Over.
That's right. That's right. And certainly they're doing their best. All the medical people are doing their best to come up with a vaccine. One drug company, in fact, is really getting close to a solution. But there's one thing we can't forget, and those are the people, we can't leave them behind. Those are the people on the front lines. We're talking about the immediate front lines. You know, the doctors, the anesthesiologists, the nurses, the EMTs, all those folks. They have to be suffering some form of anxiety, and therefore we want to try our best to maybe, if we can make contact with someone that we know, great, or if someone that we make contact with on a regular basis may be in the food market and they may be in the butcher department. Believe you me, they also have some form of anxiety as well. So if we can reach out to them and keep their spirits going, that would be the message I'd like to spring across. Thanks a lot, very, very much, Scott, for your time. 73s to you, sir. My pleasure indeed, it really is. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ, anyone, anywhere. This is special event station honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. A portable station, barely ticking my meter, but let's try again. QRZ. Here are a few stations, but my beam may be off where you guys are. Perhaps we can try again a little bit later, maybe. Well, I'm not going to be here much longer based on our conditions. But anyway, let's try again. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. I heard a station in there. Go ahead. Okay, this is Kilo 2 Hero stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Unfortunately, conditions just are too marginal right now. Maybe we'll look at 40 meters to see if anything's going on there. But for now, this is Kilo 2 Hero stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, QRT. Okay, well, you can see that's amateur radio. Some days you've got some better conditions, and other days you just don't. Today was not one of those conditions. I want to thank very, very much the viewers today that spent time with us. Thank you so much. Hopefully you received the message also, and we want to thank you for spending time with us. All right, so we're just going to end our normal ending. I'll play a couple of videos that will celebrate the nurses, and then we'll be leaving. So right now, I think we're on our right screen. Let's go over and say thank you to some of those nurses.
You make me strong when I need it. For you, I'm brave. You, I give you all my love. You, I give you all of my love. You, I give you all my love. Always you on my mind.
Okay, this is a salute to the healthcare workers. I haven't seen this, but let's take a look. Thank you again for participating in the Kilo 2 Heroes event. This is where the idea came from, actually. Lou, November Oscar to Charlie from the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club. He saw this happening in his neighborhood and said, why can't we do it as amateur radio operators, say thank you in our way? We're communicators, so we can do that. Yep, thank you to our first responders. We thank you. Well, a very good afternoon to everybody. Thanks a lot. Sorry we couldn't keep this going longer, but conditions just did not allow us to. 73s, everybody. Thanks so much for watching the broadcast. We'll see you again soon. This is Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Bye-bye, everybody.